Hare Krishna. Speak to open people's hearts, not close them. When we share spiritual wisdom, the sharing of spiritual wisdom is not just like sharing other substances. Say, if a person is hungry and we give food, people also understand the need for food, and naturally they take the food and they accept it gratefully. But when we share spiritual knowledge, quite often it requires not just our giving the knowledge to them, but their accepting it, and that acceptance requires their opening their heart, because spiritual master knowledge has to be accepted not just with the ears or with the head, but with ultimately the heart, because it is a transforming, because spiritual knowledge's purpose is to transform the heart, to redirect the heart's love from this world towards the source of the world, towards Krishna. And this requires opening of the heart, requires them to have some trust in the person who is delivering the message. They need to open their heart. For them to open their heart to Krishna, they need to open their heart first to the messengers of Krishna, to the message of Krishna, and ultimately to the source of that message, that is Krishna himself. So just like, if a patient has to do surgery, then the patient basically submits to the surgeon who opens the body of the patient. To, if there's a heart surgery or whatever is to be done, the patient has to have a significant amount of trust in the doctor, and the doctor has to earn the trust of the patient. And even after earning the trust, the doctor has to act in such a way that the doctor actually heals the patient. That there is cutting required, but that cutting is meant, and the cutting will involve some amount of hurting. But that cutting and hurting are meant ultimately for helping and healing. So, and if a doctor cuts, they cuts, say, important vein in the body or important artery in the body instead of cutting a unwanted tumor, then the results can be dangerous, even disastrous. So the doctor has to be trained, competent, and careful while doing the surgery. So what is undesirable needs to cut, but what is desirable shouldn't be cut. Similarly, when we are sharing spiritual knowledge, we need to remove people's misconceptions. We need to cut off people's misconceptions. And quite often in the bhakti tradition, the words of the sages are compared to a sword that cuts off the attachments of the conditioned soul. So it can be a more precise analogy in our terms could be, they are like a surgeon's scalpel. Now the scalpel can cut to heal, and the scalpel, if used indiscriminately, can be used to cut to hurt also. Similarly, when we look at our life, when we look at the way we share Krishna's message with others, if we come off as holier than thou, if we come off as insensitive, if we come off as self-righteous, then we may speak words which may be true, but we may end up alienating people. If people perceive us negatively, then they close their hearts and then they cannot receive Krishna's message. And whatever we speak to them actually ends up hurting them rather than helping them. So we need to not just speak the truth, but we need to speak the truth in a way that brings people closer to the truth. We need to speak sensitively and expertly so that people's misconceptions are addressed without their feelings being unnecessarily hurt. There is necessary hurt which has to be done, just like when surgery is to be done, there is necessary hurt, but that has to be done carefully, expertly, and it needs to serve the purpose of healing the patient. And Krishna points to this caution when he says that in 3.26, na buddhi bhedam janayed ajnanam karma sanginam joshayed sarva karmani vidwan yuktah samacharan. He says na buddhi bhedam janayed, na buddhi bhedam, do not disturb the minds of people, do not create holes in their intelligence, do not just shatter their misconception. Na buddhi bhedam janayed ajnanam karma sanginam, although they may be ignorant and they may be attached, Joshayet sarva karmani, that detail their work. Vidwan yuktah samacharan, vidwan yuktah. The wise person engages, details people accordingly. And in this way, we can actually, by being sensitive, by being mature, by striving to be as expert as possible, to cause as less hurt as possible, we can speak in a way, we should and act in a way that earns people's trust and opens their heart. And then their heart, when it is open to Krishna's message will do the magic. The experience of Krishna through their initial faith in him, through their practice of bhakti, can give them the impetus to redirect their heart and to abandon their misconceptions. So rather than trying to make it our business to get rid people of their misconceptions, we can focus on trying to give them the understanding of Krishna and the experience of Krishna that will inspire them to themselves give up their misconceptions. And thus we can, by opening their hearts, we can automatically close their hearts, opening their hearts to Krishna positively through education experience, we can automatically close their hearts to the various misconceptions that keep them away from Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.